You know what these glasses mean? It means I'm going to try to run and probably not make it that far. But the most important thing is that you try. The only way to fail is to not try. Okay, let's go. ASMR. Yummy. Was that weird? Okay. Today it is still coughing. It sucks. I want this to be over. Today is the next day after that run, but as promised in the last video, I will show you physically based rendering in my engine, so that's exciting. I wish this was Pabst Blue Ribbon, because I was drinking a PBR while showing you PBR. That would have been cool. I thought about buying some PBRs for that reason, but I actually don't really like drinking. But I don't know, and I also don't like committing to the bit. No, I love committing to the bit. I'm just rambling because it's early in the morning and I'm tired. Let's take a look at this doggone game engine. I feel like I'm not funny or entertaining today because it's early and my hair looks bad. I'm drinking my Celsius backwards. Okay. I'm gonna just go ahead and run it. Oh my god. Is that a floating plate of blueberry pancakes? What the hell? Oh my god, no way. Yeah. I downloaded this from Apple's like Vision OS site, or augmented reality site. 3D models. Quick look gallery, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so you can download this stuff. And yeah, so I have these pancakes, and I also believe I have this little drummer in the video as well. I mean, in the project as well. My brain is just not working, bruv. This is bad. Alright, toy. What is it? Toy underscore drummer. So you can just put in the name of it, and I'm gonna change the scale because I think the pancakes are a lot bigger than the drummer. Oh no, nope, I'm wrong. The drummer is quite large. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there's not a lot of lights in the scene. I could probably add more lights to make this easier to see. But as you can see, there's shiny parts. There are less shiny parts. The drummer's quite shiny. So if I throw in this this sphere with a brick texture over it, you can see, yeah, you can see it looks bumpy. That is due to the normals that I was adding before. And as you can see, the brick part is a little bit shiny, but the clay in the middle is not. And notice the little shadows underneath the bumpy parts. That's due to ambient occlusion. Hope you can't hear that train right now. Yeah. This is a ball. We got a brick ball here. Yeah. Okay. I need my caffeine so bad. Trying to get this video done before I have to work. Okay. But yeah, I'll show a little bit on how I implemented that. So if we go into models, I had to get rid of the cube and the plane, the floor. The plane is the floor. Due to needing the tangent and bit tangent values. Those are loaded from the model itself and generated, and then we convert them from what is called tangent space, which is I don't remember what tangent space is, but we have to convert it to world space, which is how things are positioned relative to the entire scene rather than just the object itself. So that's why we have these tangent bit tangent values, and then we in the shader we get past that in the vertex shader, and then we multiply it by a normal matrix. So multiply the normal by that, multiply the world tangent, the tangent by that to get the world tangent, and then the bit tangent by that. And then from there, we use those to calculate where the normal is on the texture. So we pass in the world tangent, the world bit tangent, and the world normal into a matrix, multiply it by the normal from the texture, and we get the normal data from that, and that's how we make it bumpy, because we know which direction the surface is pointing. Outside of that, we just have some standard physically based rendering functions that I copied and pasted to what's it called, to generate the lighting. And then after we get the diffuse lighting and the specular lighting, we add them together and return it. And that's how we get the final color. Yeah, and then the only other thing that is relevant is for the model, we have a sub mesh. We have the mesh from the model, and the mesh has multiple sub meshes, and each sub mesh has a bunch of textures. So we have the base color, roughness, normal, ambient occlusion, and metallic textures. There are other textures that you can use. These are just the most common ones, according to the tutorial I've been reading. And then we just go ahead and add them if they're available. If they're not available, we just set it to a float value. And yeah, that's all we got. And yeah, we just set the texture, and then in the fragment shader we pass those in, and then we also pass in the lights and the material, which is just a struct that holds the base color, roughness, metallic, and ambient occlusion. We don't hold the normal in there because the normal is separate. We calculate that separately. Yeah, and that's how you do old PBR, physically based rendering. I do not understand this topic. I'll be completely honest. I don't understand the topic. I know just enough to make it work, and sometimes that's all that is needed or matters. So don't ask questions in the comments. In the comments, just say cool video, You're so cool. You're so hot. The way you drink that Celsius is hot. I like the ASMR. Say stuff like that. Don't ask me what that equation is calculating. I don't know. I have a really thick book on physically based rendering, which maybe one day I'll read. I read like half of the first chapter and then started to vomit all over it because it was too dense. But maybe I'll try to read a little bit more. I think I understand it slightly more than I did when I first read that book. So that's good. Yeah, I will leave some resources on PBR in the description if you are interested, though. Yeah, all I care about, though, is that it works. From here, I want to add back in the floor. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to work on next. I'll talk to y'all probably in a millisecond because of the magic of editing. Okay. I don't think I said what I was making. So basically, what I'm doing is the same thing I always do. Is I just make tank tops because there's no sleeves. Sleeves take a long time, and they're quick to make. This project, I'm actually using 4mm needles. I usually use bigger ones because, again, I'm impatient. But I decided to do small needles, and I really like the way it came out, actually. I am almost done with this at the time of recording, so hopefully next video I'll be wearing it. But if you have any questions about knitting, direct them elsewhere, because I'm not good at it. But I do it a lot. And I think you should do it. Anyway, get some hobbies. Okay, so I got sick of looking ugly, so I did my hair. Yes, so yeah, I've been sick, so I have not really been going places. So I haven't felt like I needed to do my hair, but today I did. Hopefully, now that I'm on the mend, somewhat, I can actually start leaving my house again. It's been like 2 weeks and this has been pretty miserable, but I've gotten a lot of stuff done. I finished 2 knitting projects. I have added physically based rendering to my game engine. I finished Pokemon Emerald and I'm at the Elite Four on Pokemon Fire Red. And I even got a game-winning goal in rematch, so we gotta look at the bright side, you know? Look at the bright side, I guess. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm really sick. I think it's just allergies, but it's made life hard. And I haven't been able to go to boxing practice, which sucks. Anyway, next I'm going to practice boxing, but alone. Okay, so I decided to do my hair because I felt ugly. So in an effort to get some more activity back in my life, I'm gonna head down to the gym and do a few rounds of boxing on the heavy bag. I don't think I mentioned in my in any of my videos that I started doing boxing classes, but I've been out for 2 weeks due to being sick, so gonna go ahead and try to get back on that horse. Wish me luck. I will try to get some footage, but no guarantees because I feel embarrassed filming myself in the gym. Okay, bye. Okay, please don't judge my technique here. I have not boxed for 2 weeks, and also I'm not good because I've only been boxing for like a couple months. And also this is just my warm up. I think I just was like just doing some 1-2s, some 1-2-3s. Later on I get into the well, I didn't film it, but later on I did an actual 6-round workout where I hit the bag for 3 minutes, got a 1 minute break. There I look at the camera to make sure I look cool, and then realize I don't. Yeah, and this last little combo is one I learned where, well, I fucked up there, but it's a 1-2 block, 3-2, or 1-2 block, 2-3-2, 1-1-2. Those numbers probably mean nothing to you if you don't box. And also I've started doing abs, even though I hate abs. They're very important for boxing. I actually decided to take a little bit of a break from lifting too much. Like, as much as I love big muscles, they don't really help you when it comes to fighting. So as I'm learning fighting, I've been trying to do things that are more conducive to that. Right here, I'm trying to check my watch to track my workout, but it's dead at this point. So no. So yeah, I just did a little bit of ab wheel and then some Russian twists. Basically the ab wheel is to work on like stability and stuff in your core, and the Russian twist is for improving rotational power. When you throw a punch, you want to rotate at the hips, you use your core, brace your core. Russian twist, train that. I hope that before you could actually hear the punches and I didn't just talk over them. Maybe I'll lower my my voice. Because I will say, even though it didn't look good, it definitely sounded good. Sounded like I was beating up that bag. Okay, I just did 2 sets of abs, core, or whatever. Again, I feel like I could go, if I was in better shape, I could go a lot deeper, but I have a spinal cord injury and I never train core, so it's very hard to go like very deep with this. And then for the second set of Russian twists, I ended up leaving my feet on the ground and doing 30 reps instead of 20. Also, I feel like I could definitely lean back more. This is why it's good to film your workouts. Even if you're not an influencer like me, it's good to see like things you can improve, which you would never see if you weren't filming it. And then here, because I want to get into kickboxing at some point, I have to work on my hip mobility. So I'm just doing some hip stretches here. I believe this is called the frog stretch. As you can see, I'm very tired and very sweaty. And this is really painful. You can see it on my face. I'm very unhappy. But gotta do it. Also, I hate stretching in addition to hating doing abs and cardio. basically, oh, my voice just cracked. Basically, all the things you have to do for boxing, I hate. So it's been really fun. Honestly, boxing has made me kind of enjoy those things more because I kind of have more of a reason rather than just aesthetics. Because honestly, if aesthetics are the only reason you're doing an exercise, unless you're like really, at least for me, unless I'm like really vain, I don't care that much. Like I lift weights because I like lifting weights, not because because I think it'll make me look good. Believe it or not. And here I just did a little bit of hip flexor to hamstring stretch. My mobility in my right hamstring is not good, as you can see. Again, because I never stretch and I have an injury, but the point is trying, and you'll get better. It was a lot worse before I even started doing stretching and boxing and stuff. One thing I do recommend for stretching is Lean Beef Patty's mobility exercises, one of her mobility videos. Sorry for the ass shot. That's where I learned a lot of these stretches from. And they've really made a huge difference. I can't recommend Lean Beef Patty enough. She makes great content. And it's great for beginners. And I'm definitely a beginner when it comes to stretching. And then I believe after this, I just went into some 90/90s just to improve my hip mobility again, complete with ashy legs. The only non-ashy part is where I've sweated. I get a very strange sweat pattern on my shoulders. It's like my shoulder gets super sweaty, and then but it stops like right at my tricep. I don't know why it does that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see y'all in the next video. And please like and subscribe. And please go for a hot girl walk. And please stretch. And please learn to fight. So you can punch bad people in the face. If they've done something bad. Don't just punch people for no reason. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.